then applying it later, because then it just,
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
And you got to go through the basics in that class.
They do, and they have an intermediate class, which we are contemplating,
Yeah.
but we want to sit in there and dig in and really, figure out, do we not know things, or are there things that we can figure out on our own, without sitting there for an hour, yeah, or 2 or 9.
Yeah, I got to do more research, especially on the commercial properties. The commercial properties and lands, it's really interesting to see how land, I'm looking at where land values are now relative to where they were last year or a couple of years ago. And it's still trying to understand the land value relative to the finished product. I know the number used to be, and David and Kenya can correct me on it, it used to be somewhere between 22%. Someone just told me, Kelvin Green just said he's seeing land value relative to finished product at around 25%. And that is, I want to know if that's the trend, if that's, actuation from them running their pro formas. And again, it depends on where the land is.
Yeah.
Well, it's also hard to find land sales,
Exactly.
Lots, because they sell them now in tracts to builders.
Right, exactly.
They don't go in the MLS, and you have to kind of dig them out. And even then, if somebody buys 20 lots, they're getting some kind of discount.
Right, exactly. I'm running to that. I've got one this afternoon. I was trying to pull the dirt value out, because I don't know, is there a valuation difference when you've got city water and septic? You get that granular on it. So what's the, compare that to city water and sewer, or compare it to well and septic, if it's a hybrid. So that makes it a little more difficult, because again, we see the value is all lumped in together. It's the house and the land. And when you pull the dirt value out to see, especially I see one with the dirt value is 60% of the house value. Just saw that the other day. And so it's hard to, the dirt value was 60% house value.
Yeah, of course, naturally it depends on the size of the land and the condition of the
Right,
house.
exactly.
Yeah. But, and lots are getting smaller and smaller.
Mr. Smith,
Yes,
the spacious is working now.
Okay, good.
So you all should be able to get back in.
Okay.
Yep, there it is. Thank you.
Hey, Dave, I did have a question for you. With the rents going up in the market, I was told recently somewhere between 7-8% for net operating income on cap rates. Is that going to skew the valuations? Is that just, do you see that being a problem coming up for the county, not this year, but next year with the rents going up and net operating income, not knowing what that'll look like, but do you see that having an impact on cap rates on commercial property or in multifamily properties in 2020, 21?
Well, you say commercial, you mean like retail and office, or?
I should stick with income I better stick with income producing multifamily, for example, as opposed to retail and commercial office space.
Yeah, multifamily. I don't know. It all, with rents going up, the cap rate should remain pretty constant. It's just the values going to go up.
It's the values that are going to go up.
Right. The cap rates will change some.
Okay.
Cap rates are really more dependent on risk and
right.
also on desirability of the properties.
Right.
I don't see that changing really.
Okay.
have you heard recently from either of these next two that we're supposed to hear?
I haven't heard from any of them. The last I heard from Kevin Baker, which is our tax rep, was that for another case, he wouldn't be present for a hearing, but he didn't speak to these cases. We talked about these cases back in July.
And you haven't talked to him since?
Correct.
Okay. Well, it's 10:30. Is there anybody in the waiting room yet? Annette, is there anybody waiting to get in or?
No.
Oh, let's give them,
Wait.
we'll give them 5 more minutes and then we'll hear it out.
This first case, I've only been able to reach out to her through email. Phone calls weren't returned, but emails were. So I would call, but I don't think it'll be effective.
Okay.
Just depends on if she's got patience today or not.
Yeah. Or staff relaying information to her to get back to us.
Yeah.
It should be on her calendar though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take my mask off now. I think I'm safe. I'm in my room. I'm not near anyone else, so I can breathe freely. All right. Remember, everybody except for the PDR to the board need to have your video off if you are not speaking. Just remember that if it's not your turn yet. And then you can turn it on when they have your particular case. Just a reminder. And Mr. Smith, I got your information.
Okay, good. I just wanted, I don't have a, copy of the Machinery Act. So if somebody questions, who can testify or who can come before us, It'd be nice to be able to quote it straight out of it.
Yeah, okay then. I can actually give you the exact the statute is 105-290 D2.
Okay.
And we have it on when they list it up there on the non-attorney representative form.
Yeah, so it says it clearly on there, what categories you have to come before the board, correct?
Yes. And let's see, I'm trying to find the one that's in there now. All right, I'll be right back. I do. You can hear. So she can hear my stuff. Oh, so I can close the door and you won't hear it. Oh, okay. All right, how about now, Sheila? Is the echo in now?
No, it's good now.
So it's echoing now? It's not echo. She just can hear you talking and can hear it. Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right, well, the 5 minutes are up. Is there anybody waiting to get in?
Nobody.
Okay, all right, Kenya, well, let's go ahead and proceed with Jan Harrison.
Okay.
So what do you got for us?
Good morning, board members and Durham County staff. I'm Kenya Allen, commercial appraiser for Durham County
I
Tax.
guess I got to get you sworn in. Sorry about that.
Yes.
You raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I will.
State your name and position, please.
Kenya Allen, commercial appraiser, Durham County Tax Administration.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to this case then, please.
This case was brought on by the owner, Jan C. Harrison, for parcel number 128217. The address is 105 Newsom, Suite 106. This condominium is a medical office condominium. It's located at the intersection of Newsom and North Roxborough Road. It is constructed of brick and was built in 1999. For my case briefs, I have several comparable sales compiled by both the owner and myself. Let's see if I can share my screen so you can see my comps.
Maybe Tim, do you have them?
Yeah, I got them working here. Should be showing up shortly.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
So these four comps, they abut one another. We've got condominiums on North Roxborough Road. that sold between 382,000 and 630,000, and their square footage ranged from 2,900 square feet to nearly 5,000 square feet, versus our subjects whose square footage is just shy of 2,000 square feet. And I was able to find one sale in the subject's building that sold August of 2017. It is our last comp, parcel number 128215. It sold August of 2017 for $280,000, but it is 1,600 square feet, smaller than our subject. I'm recommending you uphold the county's value of $343,200 because the sales of the two closest in size to the subject range between a high of 382,000 or a low of 280,000. And our subject valued at 343 is in between those two, as the square footage is also in between the value of those two, the sale amount for those two.
What's the per square foot value, tax value of this property that you have?
174, I believe.
Okay. All right. Any questions from the board?
No, it seems reasonable to me. She paid 264.5 for it in 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that
her
was like
value is
6 months before
25%
the
below.
valuation date, right? That you paid
Mhm.
for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's coming in 25% below the value of what staff is recommending. I was just curious how she come in 25% below that at 258,960 versus 343,2.
She focused on the larger square footage properties that had a lower dollar per square foot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's typical.
Anything else? All right.
Nothing.
Then I will entertain a motion. This is number 65.
I make a motion, we uphold the county's valuation.
Do I have a second?
Second, Wendell Bullock.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It carries. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Land Tower Bullhouse of Durham.
Yes.
Is anybody here for that property? Okay. All right, Kenya, let's go ahead and move on.
Land Tower Bullhouse of Durham, parcel number 218419, is located at 504 East Pettigrew Street. It is a high-rise apartment building constructed in 2017. It sold for $76,250,000 June of 2018. The county's current assessment of $74,684,902 is what I recommend you uphold. Not only based on the sales price, but also comparables of other high-rise apartments constructed in Durham that sold in the time frame relevant to our 2019 general reappraisal.
Did they supply any comparables or any information about what they think the value should be?
They supplied a post-purchase pro forma that suggested an opinion of value of, was it $65 million, I do believe.
So that it had what the income, and they capitalized the income at a different cap rate, or what's the difference between what they said and what you said? I'm assuming you used income.
65 million. Their opinion is 65 million.
Right.
Our assessment is 74 million.
But did you base it on income, on your valuation on income?
We based it on income and comparable sales of other high-rise apartment sales in Durham.
Well, I was just wondering if you had, did you use the same rent that they did, the same expenses, or the different cap rate? What was the difference between your income approaches?
Let's see.
That's usually what we look at with these type properties.
Okay. Tim, there was also a comparable sales sheet. Did you have that? Thank you. And Tim, I also believe that these owners presented their pro forma as part of their evidence, if the board wanted to see their pro forma.
Is that the one with the income on it?
Yes.
Now, is that something that we have to go to the closed doors for?
I don't believe so. However, can you just enlarge this so we can actually see?
Yeah, I think you're right, Tim. I think we have to go into, have to close out to see that information. We have to close out the YouTube.
Let's see.
So can we do that?
Hold on one second.